This week, we're talking about a useful guide for understanding various worldviews. Coming up. What's up, guys? I'm Josh, and welcome to Christian Sophistry, taking apologetics to the next level. And part of that mission is providing you with the resources to help grow your knowledge by doing content reviews just like this one. So, if you want to see more book reviews or my regular apologetics videos, go ahead and think about hitting that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss anything. Okay, in this video, we're reviewing The Universe Next Door by James W. Sire. Now, Sire originally wrote this book in 1979, which might make you think that a book written about understanding views of the people around you might be a little outdated. But Sire updated his book in 2009, so we're not getting representations of views from 40 years ago. And that does kind of make you realize that this guy's been writing about worldviews for over 40 years. So it shouldn't be any surprise that this guy is well grounded in what he is writing about here. So let's go ahead and see how this guy's reputation holds up and jump into the ratings. And just as a reminder, every book that I review on this channel gets scored on a scale of 1 to 10 in 4 different categories. And those categories are difficulty, uniqueness, importance, and customer satisfaction. So, starting in the category of difficulty, James W. Sire's The Universe Next Door scored a 6 out of 10. If you've read a lot of theology, philosophy, and apologetics books, this book may not be all that hard for you. But otherwise, this book does use a lot of philosophy lingo, and it explains things in a very systematically logical way. I don't think that it's all that difficult to read, but it does have some challenges around those corners. Now, in the category of uniqueness, I scored this book a 7 out of 10. The perspective of this book is actually one of a kind. Well, sort of, at least in terms of books that are written on this topic and the time period that it's written in, it's a highly unique book. Because we've seen such a huge rise in postmodernism over the past couple of decades, James Sire's perspective is so valuable. In this book, we get to learn about worldviews from somebody who has seen the rise of all of these popular worldviews, and we get to learn about them from someone who comes from a Christian perspective. Now, granted, he does have some bias, but that doesn't have to be a bad thing if you're aware of it, and you don't use this book as the ultimate guide for what every individual person believes. I don't think anyone, including the author, would disagree with me when I say that this book is not the ultimate authority for what everybody that comes from these worldviews is going to believe. But that being said, James Sire does operate within this very unique niche that I think makes this book very valuable. In the category of importance, I scored this book a 7 out of 10. If you've seen virtually any of my other videos, you know that I'm all about engaging with people that come from completely different worldviews than ours. This book is a great starting point for understanding other worldviews and engaging with them, both on their terms and on ours. Because he comes from a Christian standpoint, his arguments are very relevant to how we would interact with people that come from these different worldviews. And finally, in the category of customer satisfaction, this book scored an 8.6 out of 10. You know, I'm starting to think that I should use other book review sources as a way to calculate my customer satisfaction, because I feel like I'm getting the same numbers every time. Anyways, this book was widely recognized as an essential book for any intro to worldview class, and I totally agree with them. I think this book is extremely useful for how to start to understand other worldviews, how to engage with other worldviews, and how Christian ideas compare with the ideas from these other worldviews. And I think those ideas are important because at the end of the day, people aren't going to respond to self-righteous thinking that demands conformity to our way of thinking. Without paying respect to people from other worldviews as rational thinkers, you're not going to get anywhere or be taken seriously by anyone. I think it makes you a far more credible thinker if you are able to understand other people's worldviews, represent them accurately and fairly, and still hold to a Christian worldview and defend it well. Which is why I think this book is an important start for anyone looking to engage in this conversation. And I know I kind of say that about every book that I review on this channel, but I wouldn't review it if I didn't think it was important. So if you want to add this book to your library, go ahead and click the link down in the description below to support this channel. Otherwise, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.